Did 23andMe really lose your DNA? Find out on this week's episode of Cornerstone News. Welcome to Cornerstone News, your go-to source for the latest updates and insights across various industries. My name is Ty Spires, and we will be bringing you the most relevant and intriguing stories, breaking down complex topics to keep you informed and engaged. From business developments to cultural trends, stay tuned and stay ahead. Is wage growth finally hitting the brakes for small businesses? According to a new Paychex survey, some are feeling it more than others. The Paychex Small Business Employment Watch reported that hourly earning growth for businesses with fewer than 50 employees dropped to 2.89% in August, the first time it's dipped below 3% since January of 2021. Falling below 3% for the first time in 3 years is another notable signal that the labor market is moving closer to its pre-pandemic level, said Paychex CEO John Gibson. For owners like John Wilson of Wilson Plumbing and Heating in Akron, Ohio, this is a welcome shift. With labor making up 50 to 70% of his budget, he's noticing that job candidates are becoming more open to salary negotiations. But not everyone's seeing this slowdown. Albert Brenner, who runs Altrico in California, says inflation and supply chain issues are still driving up costs, with no relief in sight for wages. Meanwhile, some service-based businesses like Clean Carpets in Austin continue to pay above market rates to attract skilled workers in a competitive labor market. As the labor market cools, all eyes are on the Federal Reserve and potential interest rate cuts ahead. Boeing's assembly lines have come to a standstill after workers overwhelmingly voted to strike, rejecting a labor contract with a 94% opposition. The strike, which began at midnight on Friday, has paused production in Seattle and Oregon as factory workers accuse Boeing of unfair labor practices, like unlawful surveillance and coercive questioning. Union President John Holden says the company needs to return to the table in good faith. Boeing's CFO Brian West acknowledged the frustration, noting the strike could hit production and deliveries hard, with estimates suggesting a 30-day strike might cost the company $1.5 billion. Credit rating agencies Moody's and Fitch have even warned Boeing of potential downgrades if the walkout drags on. The rejected deal offered 25% wage increases over 4 years, but workers were pushing for closer to 40%, citing soaring living costs. CEO Kelly Ortberg, only 5 weeks into the job, has urged workers to accept the deal, warning that a strike could undermine Boeing's recovery efforts after safety crisis and production shortfalls. With factory floors quiet and airplane deliveries delayed, Boeing now faces pressures to strike a deal fast. Inflation has eased to 2.5% in August, its lowest level since 2021, but stubborn housing costs continue to squeeze many Americans. The Bureau of Labor Statistics reported a 2.5% increase in consumer prices year over year, down from 2.9% in July. Food prices grew at a slower rate of 2.1%, and gas prices dropped over 10%, with the average gallon now costing $3.25. However, core inflation, which excludes food and energy, ticked up 0.3% due to higher housing costs, leaving customers feeling the pinch. Inflation was a key topic during last Tuesday night's presidential debate. Both sides discussed the economic impact with the differing views on how to address price growth and its long-term effects. The Biden-Harris administration has highlighted efforts like the Inflation Reduction Act, while some economists warn that lingering cost pressures could continue. With inflation nearing the Federal Reserve's 2% target, a 0.25% rate cut is expected later this month. But experts note that housing affordability remains a critical concern. Many analysts suggest that it will take time for consumers to feel relief, especially as borrowing costs remain elevated. In a case that feels like science fiction, genetic testing company 23andMe has agreed to a $30 million settlement after hackers accessed the personal data of nearly 7 million users in 2023. The lawsuit accused 23andMe of failing to protect user information, exposing names, birth years, genders, and ancestry details. The company denied any wrongdoing, but decided to settle, with $25 million of the payout expected to be covered by cyber insurance. The breach occurred when hackers exploited users' recycled passwords from other compromised sites, posting the stolen data on the dark web. While no DNA was duplicated, the breach has raised serious concerns about the security of sensitive genetic data. Pending judicial approval, 23andMe maintains that the settlement is in the best interest of customers and reiterates its commitment to safeguarding their information moving forward. Thanks for tuning in for this week's episode of Cornerstone News. If you enjoyed the stories and want to stay updated with the latest news, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. And for all of your credit card processing needs, visit cornerstonepaymentsystems.com. And until next time, I'm out.